Good morning, everyone. I am the discussants for today. I am going to discuss dialect. So, what is dialect? Dialect is a particular form of language which is peculiar to a specific region or social group. A dialect is a form of language spoken by a smaller group. Someone's accent is a part of their dialect. In this way, sometimes someone's accent can show where they are from. What are the examples of dialect? Some examples of dialects include Standard Dialect, Southern American Dialect, African American Vernacular English, and Appalachian dialects. Example of dialects is a Northern American might say hello, a Southern American might say howdy. This is an example of the differences in dialect. The word dialect comes from the ancient Greek dialectos, discourse, language, dialect, which is derived from dialegestai, to discourse or talk. A dialect is chiefly distinguished from other dialects of the same language by features of linguistic structures. Normally, dialects of the same language are considered to be mutually intelligible, while different languages are not. Intelligibility between dialects is, however, almost never absolutely complete. On the other hand, speakers of closely related languages can communicate to a certain extent in which uses his own mother tongue. There are also variety of dialects. Differences between neighboring local dialects are usually small, but in traveling farther in the same directions, differences accumulate. Every dialect feature has its own boundary line called an isogloss or sometimes heterogloss. Isoglosses of various linguistic phenomena rarely coincide completely, and by crossing and interweaving they constitute intricate patterns on dialect maps. Frequently, however, several isoglosses are grouped approximately together into a bundle of isoglosses. This grouping is caused either by geographic obstacle that arrest the diffusion of a number of innovations along the same line or by historical circumstances such as political borders of long standing or by migration that have brought into two contact populations whose dialect were developed in non-contiguous area. There are also four types of dialect. Number 1. Regional dialect, a subgroup variety of language associated with a particular geographical area is called a regional dialect. This type of dialect is frequently produced through a historical linguistic processes of change that we saw in the last lesson, such as contact with speakers of other languages, changes due to new tools and techniques, and perhaps most especially differences tied to the environment. Example of a regional dialect in the Philippines are Bicol, Cebuano, Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, Ilocano, Kapampangan, Pangasinan, Tagalog, and Waray. The third one is ethnic dialect, a subgroup variety of a language that is associated with a particular ethnic group is termed an ethnic dialect. African American Vernacular English is considered by some to be an ethnic dialect or ethnolect of English. It is a variety of English spoken by people of African American heritage in the United States. The third one is sociolect, a subgroup variety of a language that is associated with a social group of any sort of term, a sociolect. Technically, an ethnic dialect is one kind of sociolect. Other sociolects are based on age, groups, gender, and socioeconomic class. An example of sociolect difference based on social group is the zero copula in African American Vernacular English. It occurs in a specific ethnic group but in all areas of the United States. William Labov gives an example, he here instead of his here. The last type of dialect is accent. Accent is phonetic or pronunciation distinctions between group result in different accents. The word accent refers only to pronunciation distinctions. To refer to multiple distinction across linguistic subcategories, one must use the term dialect of variety. The way in which people in a particular area country or social group pronounce word. Example, he has a strong southern Boston accent. She's French but she speaks with an impeccable English accent. He speaks with a heavy, strong, thick Australian accent.